Hey everyone, welcome back to Dev Parkour. I'm Brian Parks, and in this video, I want to talk about specifically this project and kind of show you what all is going on within the app that we'll be improving on, maybe extending, maybe refactoring a little bit, and kind of talk about where its origins lie and why it does some of the things that it does. So in the last video, I mentioned that this came from a company I used to work at. Obviously, I have the rights to use the software. This is completely mine now to do with what I want. But there were a lot of different things that we were trying to do that meant that this application kind of became the application that did everything. So initially it started out as a way to manage what we called affiliates. And what affiliates really were just, it's almost not even franchises. It was kind of like, independent contractors that we used to do fulfillment for certain orders. This was a photo booth company. We did photo booth rentals. So we had operators, normal photo booth operators, people who, go out on the weekends or, even some people who did it full time and operate their photo booths, at parties, events, weddings, whatever. And the way we would work with them is we would send them our photo booths to use at specific events that we had sold. And basically we used this site as a way to communicate with them everything that needed to happen with that particular event. And that's actually where this affiliates component comes from. Obviously, this is a brand new install locally, and there are no affiliates here, and there aren't going to be any pending applications that show up. But that's kind of what it is. You see this become an affiliate link. This was actually a way that people could sign up. And at one point, we tried to build this kind of join the club sort of aspect, so you could like buy into being an affiliate, and then we would know that you were interested in having events sold in your territory. Basically, we would sell events and then send them to you, and you could go and fulfill them. Over time, it became more of an order management system, which is really where I want to focus this app now. So one thing to note is that the URL is /event. I don't know if you can see that, but everything in the UI talks about orders, so new order. And it's pretty extensive. General order info, because we were a photo booth rental company, and then we also sold photo booths, purchase, rental, repair, replacement parts, things you'd expect from that sort of business. Contact, right? The venue and who was actually doing the purchasing. Again, we talked about affiliates. So if someone was actually going out and fulfilling the event, we had some options for that. Commission, so we could choose who the salesperson was. And then the details, right? So if you for an event, if you had the full-fledged photo booth package with the green screen and a printer and stuff like that, we could list that here. If you just wanted the photo booth and wanted it to send emails and text messages, we'd note that here as well. And then we could do unit price and line totals and make it look like a full invoice. And there was a whole payment system behind the scenes as well. Some notes, always good. Then payments. So if someone paid their bill, made a payment against the invoice, it would show up here as well. And of course, this is all editable. So if we received a check, we could put it in the check number and that sort of thing. And then shipments. This was not really built out very much. There's just a single field for if we had to ship a photo booth to either the end customer or the an affiliate, we could put in tracking numbers for obviously outbound and return. So that's kind of where it went. And then because we're dealing with customers, it makes sense to have a kind of CRM capability. So I don't think anything's going to show up here, but it's basically, a list of people we're trying to sell to, people we've actually sold to, and then contacts at all of those customers. So typically in a CRM system, you have a customer, which is a business. Typically, well, I suppose you could have a CRM system for a B2C business, but CRMs typically are used in B2B businesses, where you have, so your customer would be a business, and then the contact would be a person at the business. Later on, we added this concept of messaging. So both conversations. So this doesn't look like anything here, but basically this is like an email inbox. So you'd actually have contacts on the left side. I think it's contacts. It's either contacts or orders. And then you would actually see them back and forth, and you could send a new email. You could see new emails that had come in. And there's actually a like an email handler thing that I actually have to find the code for, that I'll probably bring into the project a little bit later on. I think if we go back, let's go back to new order. So somewhere in here, there was actually a way to, might be in create a new customer, add customer. Yeah. So when you add a customer, you can create a new contact for the customer. You can also send a message, or log a phone call, log an in-person meeting, right? All good stuff. Send an introductory text message. So that capability existed. Send an introductory email, and then you could add your message here, and then you can add attachments. So these are all, obviously I've replaced a lot of the old branding elements with Glassminnow, but each one of these are documents that you could send with the email. So that's pretty cool. That's something that we'll probably get into in a later video. Where were we? We were in messaging. So then we have this concept of drip campaigns. And if you're familiar with like MailChimp or email marketing, that sort of thing, that's exactly what this is. So it was basically a way to, instead of leveraging what MailChimp built, because that would have involved a lot of integration with their API, and that ended up being a bit of a pain. We can we created these drip campaigns so that we could have one for an order, we could have one for just a new customer, and then we could opt out by campaign, and do some cool things with that, and actually have certain points along the line where, like, if you paid for your order, it would take you out of the drip campaign, because you didn't need to be continually getting reminders that, hey, you haven't paid for your order yet. Hey, do you still want to go through with this event? And then, as I mentioned in the last video, there's this idea of list of queues and new requests. So let's just go to new request first, because this will show all the features. So each request had a title and then optionally notes. So a title might be something like build a photo booth. And then I could add that to like operations, which is the group that would build a photo booth. Or, I could report a bug as, hey bug, and send it to the software development queue. Or I can just send it directly to me, or not to a queue, and just to me. Triage outstanding bugs. That might be something that just I would do. Add some notes, have a due date, and then link it to other things within the system. So customer, a booth, photo booth, an item, an event / order, contact, software program. A bug might be associated with the software program, so that's cool. And then I also added some magic to it. So within notes, you could do like checklist items. So do a thing, do another thing, and it looks like I could also do something like this, and I have no idea. I don't remember how this works. So maybe it works like that. Let's save it. Oh, and things bomb. So okay, so we've got some things that we need to address. So that'll be cool. But all of those would show up on my list. So on my list, I'd see requests that are on any queues that I'm subscribed to, which I think that's hard coded right now. So that'll be something to look out for. Or anything that's specifically to me, direct to me. It looks like we've got all sorts of things going on. So dashboards, I think these are just the queues. Yeah, the default dashboard. My default dashboard is software dev because I was the main developer on this project. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I'm sure there's stuff that I'm missing, but we'll come across that as we go through the app and make some improvements to it. So with that, I hope that was interesting. That's basically kind of an overview of what the app does now, and over the course of this project, we might make the app do a little bit more. We'll see. I might pull out some features that I think might be cool and use them as examples for how to build new features on code, how to build scalable features on code, how to address maybe some more metadata oriented things. Those are always pretty cool. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. And if there's anything you want to maybe see on video, go ahead and leave a comment down below, and I'll see if I can work that into this project. But yeah, hope you enjoyed that. Go ahead and leave a thumbs up if you did, and subscribe and click that notification bell so you'll know when the next video is coming out, which should be tomorrow. Again, if you missed last Monday's video, my plan with all of this is that Mondays will be videos where I share my screen and do things like this, and then the rest of the week will be me talking about some of the decisions that I'm going through, and maybe even some decisions that I'm not entirely sure which way I'm going to lean later on down the road, where you'll have a chance to kind of make suggestions. So go ahead and subscribe and click that notification bell so you'll get notified when all of those things are happening. And I'm gonna play with my cat because he's insistent that I should. So I will talk to you all later.